Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Inside the Birds platform. This is the Q&A show. Thank you guys for joining in another week, and we're very sad about that terrible, horrific, embarrassing, repugnant, just bad loss that the Birds took in the Big D this past Monday. Q, I'm disheartened a little bit, but we're going to do a few things before we get into that. We want to thank all the fans that are tuning into the show. Thank everyone that is making the show a success, to Adam, to Jeff, to everyone at Inside the Birds. Just thank you guys for making this a success. Q, say what's up to the people.
Yeah, what's up, everybody?
You got to get that. This is my gosh. All right, let's get right into it. Again, if you guys have any questions for us, make sure that you are submitting those questions to insidethebirds@gmail.com. Again, this is the Q&A show. We are on the YouTube platform, Inside the Birds, also Amazon Music, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll be coming to you every week with fresh fire, even though we got smoked last night, looked like we didn't belong on the field. Your initial thoughts before we get into X and O's, just your first impression of the team, coaching staff, 2 straight losses. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I would say this. After watching that game, just sitting there, and I watched the entire game.
Yeah.
I watched even the last few seconds when the Dallas Cowboys are doing that Pop Warner thing where they're popping up and going back in the 3-point stance and kneeling the ball. I've never been more embarrassed as an Eagle fan, former Eagles player in my life as to what I saw last night. That was, I was expecting a lot more from this team, but that game right there was probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. From top to bottom in the NFL. And the only thing I can think of that's remotely close is the Bears team. It's very, very similar to the way the Bears looked the other day on Sunday.
No.
And it's very disheartening to see that. After you see game one, you see so much potential in this team. You see so much that could be with this team. And for some reason, to come out and lay an egg like that on national TV was just, I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah.
What about you, buddy?
The first initial impression is my first initial impression was we didn't deserve to be on the field last night.
Yeah.
And that's a very, very hard thing to say because we saw the Beat Dallas shirts. We heard about the rivalry like Ohio State and Michigan and so on and so forth, and Alabama and Auburn, whatever, taking the best of the rivalries and owning it and all of those things, right? We heard Nick Sirianni last week that it's more about the players than the plays. Questioned himself on the 4th down call with the version of the Philly special. All the right things were said. We've heard Jalen Hurts say, that the rent's due and he planned on paying the rent. We've heard, the receivers, say a few things in the media, and so on and so forth, right? We hate Dallas. And with all the things that have been said, all the things that has happened and transpired over these last couple of weeks, to come out and lay an egg like that, it's pitiful.
Yeah.
It is. And we look starstruck. Not starstruck. We look
The game was too big.
Yeah. That's it. It was just, it felt like we weren't in the moment. We cowered in the moment.
Yeah.
We cowered in the moment. We weren't ready for that type of physical play. And again, I can't put it all on the players because we got out coached too.
Mm-hmm.
We keep getting out coached. The first game, stellar. The last 2 games, we've been outplayed and we've been outcoached in both of those games. All right. And so that's my initial impression. Serious concerns about the players or personnel. What's going on? What position do you think needs to be upgraded? Right now, as it is, we know Howie Roseman is a big person when it comes to the trade deadline and trying to get the team better, get in position to be a viable playoff threat. Right now, the division goes through Dallas. The other teams aren't in that same stratosphere. The only way we can get better is adding someone, something, some coach, something to this offense. What do you think? Offense or defense, this team?
There are so many. I mean, not even beginning with the injury problem that we have, which keeps rears its head every single year for some reason. But with the injuries aside, there's so many holes on this team that it's almost, in my opinion, it's almost not worth it at this point. Because really, when you think about it, who's gonna, like, first of all, anyone that's gonna really help us to the point that we need that help, how much are we going to give up for them, right? And then you're talking about salary and salary cap and all that stuff. It's almost to the point where I don't even know if it's even worth trying to make any trades to bring in people right now. I mean, we're at the bare. It's like we're at the bottom right now, and this is truly. It's funny because earlier in the preseason, you know, in the off season, in the after the first game, this didn't feel like a rebuild type team, and it after last night and the previous week, this really feels like a rebuild. It feels like there are so many holes. There's so many young players that we're relying on that aren't ready yet. There are so many issues with this team that I don't know if it's really going to be worth it to try to make a trade right now. I think right now it's just going to be let's take our lumps, let the young guys play, see what we got, and then start building for the future. Because, you know, after seeing what I saw the last 2 games, but last night especially, I really don't know if this team is ready yet. And
that's a big statement coming from you, Q.
For real. And you know how positive I am, and I'm very optimistic as always, as I am by nature. But after seeing that, it just kind of took the life out of me.
Man.
But you know, like the excitement out of me after seeing that. And I know it's one game, you know. I gotta stay positive. I know it's one game, but it looked like the disparity between that team and, you know, the Dallas Cowboys and Eagles is so far. I had no idea. I did not feel like it was that big of a difference, and it showed last night.
Yeah, it showed last night, but concerns about players and scheme. I'm not going to give up on the team. I still think after this murderous road that we're going on, these next 4 games, I think that there's some winnable games.
Yeah.
I think that it's still very unlikely that this team is a playoff team, but I'm not giving up on them getting better throughout the season. We need a win. We need a signature win. We failed on 2 opportunities to beat the team for the 49ers and the Cowboys. Now we go down a path where we're playing a lot of teams that are doing well right now. So we need a signature win. Kansas City, Carolina, Tampa Bay, Las Vegas. That's murderous, bro. And so with that being said, I do think that we need personnel. We need to fix personnel situation. Let's talk about a few. Offensively, we need to start making Quez more of a commodity because he's the only receiver that's showing up consistently. And I know that you have paid, not paid, you paid a price to get first rounders with Jalen Reagor and Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith is showing that maybe he's not ready to take over a team like a Jamar Chase at this point, and play through him. But Quez is having favorable matchups, and Quez and Dallas and Miles and Gainwell and Ertz, make that your focus. And for God's sake, can we start giving the guys the ball that has earned it rather than what you think someone is? Yeah. Let's do that. Let's go with who has been there and who is showing up currently right now. I know Jalen Reagor, you want to see what he can do, get targets and all those things. I love Jalen Reagor as far as a person. Right now, he is not showing the ability to get open and do like small things. He's doing the same thing over and over again. Go route the same way this week. You can't keep running around people, man. It's hard. And a lot of people's like, oh, that ball needs to be thrown out in front of him. No, if the defender is comfortable enough to look up, that means he's in good position. Yeah. Okay? You can tell by the defender. Yes, Jalen Reagor started to go past him. Once the defender already had located the ball, of course, the defender saw it was short before he did. If you have a defender on top of you or right next to you, you look sooner. You don't wait for a ball to go past or for a quarterback to lead you. You look sooner. Was it a bad throw by Jalen Hurts? But by a first rounder standpoint, a starting receiver standpoint, that should have been an offensive catch. That should have been a receiver coming down with the ball because we always locate it before the defender and we can step right in front of him. That type of that and at the least is not an interception. That ball floated up in the air way too long for it to be an interception. I just can't justify that under any circumstance. So I think we need to shuffle the receivers around and start playing through Quez Watkins more, playing through Dallas Goedert more, Zach Ertz, Gainwell, and Miles Sanders. Let the ball come to the others as it comes to them naturally and organically. But let's start putting the focus on those guys because in these 3 games that we've seen, those guys are showing up and coming to play each and every game. So that's what I would like to see. And let's do this as well. Let's put Quez outside where he belongs. Yeah. And let's put Devontae Smith at slot and keep Jalen Reagor there. And at some point, we got to start asking the question is are we going to bring in a veteran receiver that can get open? The thing that you saw last night was, though the Eagles are in a different defense and different defensive style or whatever, you didn't have to worry about Amari Cooper getting open. You didn't have to worry about CeeDee Lamb getting open. You didn't have to worry about Schultz getting open. You didn't have to worry about Jarwin or Wilson or anybody else that was out there getting open. You just didn't. Our guys are losing one-on-one matchups. And so we have to start to consider going out and getting another guy or trading for a guy that can consistently get open. So that's one aspect of it. Also, personnel. This is more scheme, but I'll stay on personnel. We have to really consider what we're going to do at the linebacker position.
Oh
yeah, this is not cutting it. It's just not. We have guys that will not go to an open space. There's guys getting double teamed. Hargrave.
Two guys
getting double teamed. I know Brandon Graham is not there because Brandon Graham would have put an end to that last night with him having a one-on-one matchup and with an inside move stopping that. Brandon Graham is not there, ladies and gentlemen. And you got 2 double teams. That means the linebackers just need to step up into a gap. They stayed in the middle and did not shoot any of the gaps. Both of them were standing in the middle and getting covered up by 2 guys. I'm like, dude, go to the open space. The running back is going to be there. You take one gap, the other guy take the other one. The running back is going to be right behind them. It's not that hard. And I was pissed off about that. So our guys are pitter-pattering, doing a little hop.
Yep.
I hate that damn hop. Go get the ball. If you don't see the ball, go to the gap that's open and the ball will show itself. It's simple, man. But don't get blocked by a double team when there's open spaces to run to, man. That's baloney. That right there is. I just could not believe what I was watching.
I felt bad for Hargraves and Fletch. I mean, those 2 guys right there were battling their butts off all game. And Dallas's O-line is very good, and they were getting double teamed, and linebackers are not showing up. That right. I was so angry watching that.
Like
help your boys out, man. Like
the thing is that they weren't just getting double teamed. They were getting double teamed with no release. Usually you get a double team up to a guy. They were just pushing the defensive tackles back into the linebackers and not even blocking the linebackers. And the backers could not figure it out. So I'm just like, what are we doing? I see the open space. Yeah. You don't feel the open space at linebacker? We're talking about the most instinctive position in football should be your middle linebacker or your linebacker position, because they're so used to being on special team, filtering through bodies and defenders to get to the ball, because you don't always have to see the ball. You have to see the open space. The ball will go to the open space.
Yep, 100%.
All right. So we have to figure that out. And Q, can you let me know what the hell Darius Slay and Steven Nelson have been doing the last couple of weeks? Listen, can you let me know? Steven Nelson, a basic zone coverage where he's looking in at Kittle and the guys right outside of him. Darius Slay sees the man in the back of the end zone on the 4th down, does not continue to stay underneath the defender, start looking back at the quarterback. Who else is in your zone?
Yeah.
Who else is over there? That right there was just not a good play.
That was a terrible play.
And you don't expect that from a veteran.
Yeah.
It's only one person over there. You go over there and start looking at Dak. What do you think the guy's going to do? He's going to move. But all you have to do is stay underneath him. You don't even have to look back at the quarterback. There's already somebody low. You don't have to worry about that. Just go and cover that man up and plaster him, because the quarterback is outside of the pocket. And that turns into man coverage to you.
That's it. That right there. I got a funny story about that, right? So when I was I want to say it was either I think it was a Super Bowl year, I believe. We played the Chicago Bears up in Chicago. And this is I was still a young player. I was getting in a little bit on goal line situation. And we had a goal line. I forget who the quarterback was. Could have been like Greasy or someone like that back in the day in Chicago. And long story short, I was on the goal line. The Bears ended up calling the pass play. I drop in the coverage. I'm in my coverage on a tight end on the flat, right? He's running the flat route. So I'm like plastering and pacing, right? So the quarterback's rolling out, and I'm on the tight end. The quarterback's rolling out. And so like now you got a decision. And it was very similar to the situation that Slay was in, where the quarterback's kind of rolling out and you have to make a choice. Either I stay on my man and potentially let the quarterback run into the end zone, or I come out of coverage and I go up and there's a possibility he could throw it over my head. It wasn't quite the same as what Slay had there. That was just a blown coverage. But the decision is the same at that point. Now, remember, on this play, I decided to come out of coverage, and I came out of coverage, and the quarterback threw it over my head to the tight end that I was on, to the flat. And I'll never forget, Jim Johnson just came over. He's like, you know how what the F were you doing right there? And I'm like, well, Coach, if I didn't come off, he was gonna run it in. And he was like, I don't give a, you stay in coverage. And like that was my first thing where I learned early is that there's sometimes as when you're in coverage and you're in a situation like that, as a like the quarterback running it in at that point mattered more than a pass in.
Yeah.
Right. So long story short, I say that to say in that situation, and I know maybe it was a blown coverage, but in that situation, you should not, as a secondary player, not even worry about the quarterback running. Don't even think about it. If the quarterback ends up running it in, that is not your fault. You as a secondary player need to stay in coverage right there. Yeah. And the fact that he was even looking in the backfield at Dak Prescott shows that either, number one, they're coaching it or they're not coaching it, right? But as a vet, that's something that can't happen. And you don't expect something like that from someone like Slay. Yeah. And so, maybe he just got lost in the moment, but he should have just stayed in coverage on that. It was crazy.
I appreciate you giving me that story and giving some insight to it. That coverage, Slay was nowhere near Dak on that one, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
and he went first of all, he was almost out of bounds.
Yeah.
So
that was gonna be my next point too.
He saw the defender. I mean, saw the receiver, went to cover his spot, and then looked in the backfield like the guy wasn't going to move. Yeah. And was almost at the end, was almost out of bounds. I was like, oh, are we kidding? What are we doing here? You know, so the bomb to CeeDee Lamb at the beginning of the game. Listen, when you're on cover 4, you on high alert as a corner.
Yeah.
Listen, you're on high alert. You see that guy start to run that divide angle, that goalpost angle. You have to stay on top. If he comes out of it, so what?
Yep.
But you have to stay on top. You can't assume that the safety is not going to get caught with his eyes in the backfield because he still has run support. Yeah. So therefore, I'm going to be on top, and I'm not going to allow that to just run. Now, I get it if that ball is caught on the other hash. Now he's just running away from you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He got both safeties. He's running away from you. But for that ball to get caught on your hash, your eyes are just wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your eyes are just wrong.
Bad eyes all night.
That's all we're saying. Your eyes are wrong. So personnel, we got a lot of stuff that, like, receiving, the shuffle there. I'm not going to give up on Hurts just right now at all. I'm not going to do it. I do think personnel-wise, and when it comes to him, we'll discuss that later. Questions about scheme, and now I may blow a gasket in this session, but let's talk about scheme really fast. We can talk about offensive scheme. We can talk about defensive scheme, and I'm going to explode on offense and defense, not just offense. But I'm going to let you go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you have to say. The defensive scheme, I've been saying it since.
Yes, yeah.
Since the preseason, right?
Yes, yeah.
You cannot, and then it's fine. It's fine to sit in the zone. It's fine to sit in and then let the game come to you when you're playing teams that aren't explosive. But when you get in games like what happened last night, when you have a team that can score a lot of points very quickly, a team that can run the ball, they can throw the ball, they can do multiple things with it. You have to be able to change it up a little bit, give a different look. You know, when they did blitz, the one time that they blitzed,
the fire zone too.
The fire zone, they got there. And I'm sitting there, and the best part about it, like, this is they actually highlighted it very, very real, right? So they showed a zero blitz. Dak comes to the line, he makes a check, right?
Man check,
and then thinking it's man. It ends up being the fire zone. We get the sack and the coverage. People don't understand what that does to a quarterback, what that can do to receiver core. Like, just that little one play right there gets in your mind. And now you're second guessing everything you see. Now, can you imagine if Dak had to deal with that every single play? Yeah. Where he's coming to the line and he's starting his cadence, and, oh wait, is it a blitz? Is it not a blitz? Are they coming? Are they not coming? That right there is worth a million plays, a million regular drop back cover 3 zones. The fact that you can place uncertainty in that quarterback's eyes, you can put uncertainty in the receiver's minds. You can do all that stuff matters. Every single play matters. And to see it happen just one play, and to see it work, and to see exactly that's
on
exactly
a critical third down,
doing, and then don't do it ever again after the rest of the game. I wanted to just I wanted to lose my mind, because I know it's there. Now, see, that's the thing. Like, now I know it's there. I know those things are there. I know they're working on those things. I know they have those things in their pocket, in their back pocket, but we don't use it enough.
I agree with you. You call the fire zone and you play cover 2 behind it. Confuse that to no end. He was trying to throw the ball. He was like, oh, that's not what I thought it was. Is that Sweaty and Avante Maddox make it, right? And here's my point. What message are you sending, Gannon? What message are you sending? That I'm scared? Are you sending a message that I want to be conservative? Are you sending a message that I will let somebody run in my house and I won't protect my family? What message are you sending by staying in the same defenses over and over and over again? Are you afraid that somebody's going to make a mistake and someone's going to chew you out? What message are you sending? It's not the message of aggressive. It's not the message of attack. It's not the message of a hungry dog. It's not the message of a Philadelphia Eagle. It is not. When the game is on the line, we need to stop in the 49ers game. We play zone coverage. Juszczyk gets a 8-yard play. We sneak at the next, 49ers sneak at the next play. Game's over. We play zone. We sit back and let somebody run into our house without shooting a shot. This game is on the line. It's a 4th and 1.5, 4th and 2. What do we play? Zone. After we just had a fire zone blitz that was successful, but the game is on the line. We don't stop them. We lose the game. We play zone. We play it safe. We're conservative. What message are we sending? Attack people. Attack Dak. Attack the line of scrimmage. Our linebackers play like we're coaching. Scared. Offensively, the Eagles going into this game trailed the Baltimore Ravens as the second leading rushing team in the National Football League. The 49ers game was a winnable game. We still decided to run the ball even when we should have been passing sometimes, and I'm not mad at that. But we go into this game and we don't give our running backs a chance by not running the football at all. Miles Sanders finally gets a carry, bust off 20 yards. We don't come back to it at all. What the hell are we thinking? What are we doing? How are we playing the game? How does it change that drastically in a game? Unless somebody comes into a meeting and says, I want to throw the ball more than run the ball. We lost the 49ers game because we're running the ball too much. Because it doesn't make sense for Nick Sirianni just to turn another leaf. The preseason we ran it. First 2 games we ran it. And then in this game, when everything is on the line, we don't run it at all. I don't think that's a Nick Sirianni thing. I think that's a front office thing.
Yep.
Listen, we got to let the coaches coach. Got to let the players play. Running the football is paramount. The Dallas Cowboys had us whatever we wanted, whatever they wanted to do. They were able to do it because they established the run game.
Yep.
This game isn't hard.
It's not.
This game isn't hard. So when it comes down to scheme, I don't think that we're putting players in the proper positions to win. I don't think that we are playing with conviction at all. Are we being puppets? I don't know. But we need to start playing with more conviction and more aggression.
Yep.
Scheme. Teams that shift in motion, confuse the defense, dictates tempo, make the defensive coordinators and the middle linebackers and those that are calling the game second guess. Defensively, we show 2 shell, we play 2 shell. Offensively, we line up in trips, we're in trips. We line up in double wing, we're in double wing. There's no variety. There's nothing to think about. Therefore, the defense can play fast, and yes, Trayvon Diggs can catch and take a pick back to the house because there's no variety.
Yep.
He doesn't have to think at all. It's a tight split. It's either an out or a post. Maybe a go. 3-step up, it's the out 100%.
Boom. Easy money. They were talking about that play like it was some groundbreaking stuff. I'm like, that's one of the easiest things to do for a D-back. That's easy money right there.
It's a tail. All right. Sorry, Q.
No, you feeling it too. Because it just doesn't make sense. Right?
Yeah. What can you say? I love this team. I love this city. I want Nick Sirianni to do well. I want Jonathan Gannon to do well. I want the young players to do well. But for goodness sake, make me want to come to the games. Make me want to turn on my television. Listen, I'll turn on my television if you're willing to throw punches.
Ooh, that's real. Yeah.
You know, it ain't always about the wins and losses. It's how you do it. Mm-hmm. It's hard. It's hard to root for a team that's sitting blocking all day. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get knocked out. Man, freaking throw a punch.
Yeah.
All right. I'm off that subject. Q, we got to move on because it.
I could listen to this all day, man.
Time to panic. What do you say? We talked about that a little bit.
No, it's not time to panic. Not yet. Rookie head coach. He's still learning, and as high as we were on him game 1, it's his only game 3, right?
Yeah.
Dallas is a good team. Like they're a legit team. They're a contender.
Yeah.
Thought we were a little bit closer to them than we actually are, but they're a good team, and they had a good game plan. We didn't have a great game. We didn't have any kind of game plan actually.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's time to panic. Like you said, we get through this little murderous row of games. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be a tough few. It's gonna be tough. 4 or 5 games?
Yeah,
stretch here. But it's not. I'm not giving up.
We'll be lucky if we are. If we're 2.
We'll be lucky if we're
2-5.
Yeah. I'm looking at Carolina and possibly maybe Las Vegas will be the only 2 that I can see, especially after last night.
If we're 3 and 4, we're doing great.
Yeah.
After that, so, if we go 2 and 2 these next couple games, we're marvelous.
Yeah.
And I'll be excited.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go on. Let's go into a different topic. Let's go to the Eagles offense and let's talk about the quarterback play. Play calling, quarterback. What was the issue this past game, Keith?
I'm going to say this one for me is on the play caller. There's only so much when you're a young quarterback, and I kind of feel bad. I like that. I do like that he went out. That Hurts went out and owned this game, and he took the brunt of it, and he put it squarely on his shoulders and all that. But at the same time, the offensive coordinator Sirianni and Steichen, they didn't help him in any way at all. And you hinted on it. Run the football. You have to run the football. And it sounds like we say the same thing every year, and we get the same results every year. Like you can't. This is not Madden. It's not Madden. You can't just go forward on 4th and 25 and throw all go specials. You can't just throw it 3 downs in a row. And in fact, I've been playing Madden a little bit more lately. If you do that in Madden now in 2020, 21, you're gonna get your butt whooped because the computer is designed just how a regular game is, right? Mm-hmm. So you can't do that. You got to run the ball. You've got to put a different thought in the mind of the defense. You have to make them think about other things other than, all right, well, all I got to do is read 3-step. Quarterback gets the snap in shotgun, ball comes right to the ear. That's 3-step all day. I'm sitting on the route. Like you can't do that all day. You have to give the defense something, like you said, something else to think about, something else to look at, something to slow them down, the read. That matters so much, especially when you got Miles Sanders, who can take it the distance on any given play. Like that's a weapon. That's a viable weapon why are we not using him? It's maddening to see that, you know. First half, we barely throw the ball to Goddard. Come out second half, got a couple nice throws to him, then just go completely away from it. Like, I just feel like there's weapons that we're not using, and there's wasted talent on this team, on this offense. It's driving me crazy. Sorry.
Yeah. No, don't be sorry. You're accurate. What can you say? Like, I think this one, Q, and I agree with you. I think it's play calling, but I think it's the quarterback too. And I'm not going to give him a pass. I gotta speak to some things, right? From a play calling standpoint, offensively, mindfulness is not enough to call a play. It's all about knowing who has the better matchup.
Yeah.
And being mindful of that matchup. Dallas Goedert on Clayton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, Wind, Dallas. Dallas on Malik Hooker. He's really a corner that can catch.
Yeah.
Probably not so much. But mindfulness, right? Knowing your matchups, knowing your situations. Trayvon Diggs has 3 picks in 3 games. He's been shadowing people. He's been locking up some really good players. Keenan Allen last week, first game, Mike Evans locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that we need to be throwing the out routes at him? Mindfulness. Yeah. We're not afraid of people, but why take the chance when I can throw the ball at Anthony Brown or Jordan Lewis or anybody else?
Yeah.
Mindfulness. Play calling. Defensively, non-existent. I'll just call the vanilla game plan. You know what? We calling game plans on defense like people are buying houses. They go out and in order to get the most people to like the house, they put everything neutral. Neutral colors. Gray, brown, white. That's how we call them defense. Plain Jane. We're just trying to get the masses to like us.
Oh, man. That is so
on the, we need to be bold. Put some purple in it. Who cares if they don't like it? We're trying to win.
That's real.
Winning has specific tastes. It's not for everybody.
For real.
All right. Jalen. I wrote this down. Jalen is cool. He's a leader. He's on Jalen's tempo. He has to get out of the overconfident, cool demeanor.
Yeah.
I want him to be calm, cool, and collected, but I want him to be more urgent. That's what I see lacking, is his urgency. When you're urgent, you're in a urgent manner getting to your drop. It's not cool, it's not calm, it's not collected. It's I got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bam, I'm ready to go. When the ball is going up, it's just not like, oh, let me guide it. No, I'm throwing the ball strong, whether it's a loft throw or not. I'm still throwing it with confidence, and my tempo with that throw is urgent. Let's talk about that Diggs interception at pick 6. As a quarterback, you can feel when a guy's sitting on a route. So I'm not lofting a softball out there. If I feel the DB with more tempo than my receiver, I'm going to put gas on it and I'm putting it outside. You can feel that in the route.
Yeah.
How many times are you going to be short? That pick, you were still inside. That ball was still probably going to be 70% chance, 75% chance, still getting picked if Devontae Smith doesn't stay up. I mean, if he does stay up.
Yeah.
Because the ball was still inside.
Still inside. Yep.
Play the quiz. You made a few plays. That's a little late, so I'm not going to count that one. But Jalen Reagor, could the ball been out? The ball should have at least been outside. I'm not going to say that the ball should have been up the field and running it down because Anthony Brown had better position. But the ball should not have been left inside closer to the defender than the offense.
Yeah.
Right? So those are things that Jalen Hurts has to correct. His urgency is the number one thing to me that he has to correct.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't be cool. I'm not saying you can't be confident, but be urgent. Recognize the importance of each play. Recognize the importance of getting the ball up and down on time. The one thing that I can say about Jalen Hurts last night, didn't blame anybody.
Yeah.
Even when he was frustrated and tired, I would love to see Jalen Reagor at least knock that ball down at the beginning of the game because that would change the entire complexion of the game. Yeah. 2 plays in the game that I thought would have changed the entire game. Jalen Reagor's play, 3 plays. Jalen Reagor's play, Greg Ward's miss punt block.
Yeah, that was big.
That was huge.
Yeah.
Just closed his eyes, faded away. Q, I know that was that right there. You best round scored on that.
Oh man!
When you get that clean, you know he could have tackled the guy and been better.
Yeah,
he just ran right into the kicker.
Yep, it wouldn't have been a penalty either.
It wouldn't have been a penalty.
'Cause he was there. He was there when the ball was basically dropped to the foot.
Right. So that was one of the plays, and then the 4th down play, the touchdown sealed the deal for them. The 4th and 1.
Oh yeah.
But again, those are the things I would love to see the quarterback do. We talked about it. The Sirianni running 3 times. Do you want to speak on that again?
Run the ball. I mean,
yeah, he ran the ball 3 times in the first half. No, yeah,
no, it was. I had to look twice too.
Yeah.
You can't win. You can't win like that. And I never would imagine I'd say this, but like last night I was like, wish we had Morningwick back or Doug back or
Marty,
Andy
you
back.
Marty back. Marty at least go running 1 every 7.
I'll take that over last night, man. I was like, come on, you get what you get. And so I guess the one thing that I'm hoping that can come from this is that we've alluded to it multiple times, and I feel like it's never gonna, fall on the right ears, but someone eventually, whoever's doing this, needs to learn that you have to run the football.
Yeah.
There's not. I was reading some stuff today. I was reading comments. Maybe it was on one of those blog sites, and I was just reading through the comments, and everybody was talking about how much we don't run. And someone made a comment, and they were talking about how the Patriots a few years ago in the playoffs didn't run the ball one time, and all they did was pass because they felt like they had a better chance of winning the game throwing the ball, and then they ended up winning. And I want to be like, okay, they had Tom Brady at quarterback when they did that, and that's the difference, right?
It's only a few that you can trust to protect the ball the entire game, and that's him.
Exactly, right?
You can't even
in the
trust
history of the game,
in the
history of the NFL, like he's probably the only quarterback in the history of the game that you can say can go into a game, maybe Peyton, but even when his arm strength wasn't there, that could just throw it every play, and you have a chance. Other than that, that's it. You have to run the ball, and it's like a broken record, man. We just keep saying it over and over again, and it's really not that hard. That's the thing that, to me, that's the thing that's the most difficult about it, is that it's not that hard, especially when you have an O-line that's designed. Now they're banged up, but a line that's designed to get off the ball and try to road grade people. Like,
Exactly. And our team is, and you give them an opportunity to get some get back. That's what the running game is. When you're pass setting, you're backing up, you're absorbing, you're taking hits, you're receiving.
Yeah.
When you come on from the run game, you finally get a chance to be on offense and go in and hit somebody else, right? So it's your opportunity as an offensive lineman to get some payback during that time.
And to your point,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was going to say, to your point on that, I just had to make this point, right? You got Micah Parsons. Now, yeah, he's a tremendous athlete, and you know, he's a decent rusher, I think. But they were talking about him like he was Lawrence Taylor out there.
My gosh.
Right? And you know, poor Lane. This kid, all he did was speed rush and bull rush all day. And they were talking about him like he was the best thing to come out since Lawrence Taylor, like I said. But don't you think that Lane would appreciate the opportunity to be able to just come off the ball and bury Micah Parsons like one play or two?
Exactly.
Like just to put him in his place. Like that's a rookie going against Lane. And it's not, and people think it's not easy. It's not easy playing tackle. It's a difficult position when you got a guy like Micah who's a young guy that's unorthodox, that really shouldn't be out there, but is a freak of nature that's just doing whatever he does. And it really looked like he didn't even have any responsibility. They just said, just go.
Just go for it. No lane, no contain, no nothing. It's hard, right? It's actually harder.
Yeah, it's more difficult for offensive tackle. So, you know, just run the ball.
Exactly.
That's it. Just run it.
Yeah, so Hurts had an opportunity to flee the pocket a few times, but the thing that we saw last night is the Cowboys' team speed. Jalen Smith, my gosh, they talked about Micah Parsons. Freaking Jalen Smith was running down everything. He was. He was running down everything. Every time Jalen Hurts got on the edge, Jalen Smith was running right behind him. Get 1, 2, 3 at the most. That was it. Because Jalen Smith was on his butt. And that's the thing about Dallas. They have athletic players.
Yeah.
Van Der Esch can roll.
Mm-hmm.
Micah Parsons can roll.
Yep.
Jalen Smith can roll. When your front seven, that second level can run like those guys, it puts you in a better position. You can run the seam better. You can run sideline to sideline. You can spy a quarterback with the linebacker instead of a safety. Oh my gosh, you know how much easier that is?
So much easier.
You know?
Yes.
You don't have to get into a sub package. You don't have to recreate a defense and have 3 people thinking. You don't.
Nope. That's huge.
That's huge. So that was the difference when it came to Jalen Hurts and his screaming ability, is that they had Fred Warner and that was it. The other guys were just so. No, you got 3 of them out there that can roll this past week. And all of them stayed in their lane. They realized that he was going to roll right most of the time, and they were on it.
Yep.
Jalen was inaccurate. I think the first play threw off everything. Yeah. Not the first play, the first pick threw off everything for a young player. I know as a quarterback how pissed he is. I've literally, in college, John Navarre, my rookie freshman year, going against Marlon Jackson in practice. Marlon Jackson and Cato June. Cato June's at safety. Marlon.
Good players.
Good players. And Marlon's at corner. He throws one up, and I let Marlon pick it. Cato hit me. He cursed me out.
Who?
The quarterback.
Oh, wow.
The quarterback cursed me out. Because he said, listen, I gave you a chance. I put the ball for the whole team on you. And it was an opportunity for you to at least knock the ball down. So that's unacceptable. If I'm giving you a shot, hell, I throw the Braylon every time. That's what he said.
Wow. That's crazy.
After that, I can count on my hands how many picks have been thrown on me, and usually it's on a line drive throw where you can't do anything about it. But if the ball's thrown up, floated at all, I'll be damned if somebody else get it.
Mm.
That's the mentality of a receiver. You can't get it. And I thought that changed the entire game for Jalen Hurts. He was panicked. He was inaccurate. The moment probably got to him. I think that was the changing point of the game for Jalen Hurts. All right.
Yeah.
O-line, D-line consistency depleted Dallas D-line, right? So they are missing a bunch of people. DeMarcus Lawrence, a few other players. Landon Dickerson out there. I still didn't think that he played his best game. O-line, D-line, Dallas D-line with no DeMarcus Lawrence.
I thought
first game back for Randy Gregory.
Yeah, he didn't look bad.
Yeah,
but again, it's hard to tell when you get the tee off the entire game without having to worry about anything else.
Exactly. Pin your ears back.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's hard to really evaluate the game just because of the and I don't want to keep using that as a crutch to rely on that, but it's hard to really evaluate this offense when it's such a lopsided type of game in terms of what the play calling was.
The
inconsistency there. Maybe the fact that we were down, everybody's pushing a little bit. I don't know, man. This one I don't really want to put a whole lot of blame on the O-line just yet.
I thought Jalen had enough time to pass the ball.
I think so too.
Like, I'm not saying that they didn't lose certain battles at times, but for the most part, he had the opportunity to make some plays.
Yes.
Did they get beat in a few critical situations, some third downs where some guys got beat? Yes, that happened.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like watching the Bears game where the quarterback couldn't get to his fifth step. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's games. I was there, that was my first game starting when Winston Justin gave up all those sacks. Like, I remember Donovan not being able to, when you get sacked on a 3-step, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So I thought that he had enough time to make some plays. Then you get to talk about the next thing, Q, which is the receivers. And here's the biggest problem. We're small.
Yeah.
We're so small.
I know.
And I'm not a small guy, because one of my favorite receivers of all time is Steve Smith Sr. Steve Smith Sr. was an asshole. and he was tough. Yeah. And he was 5'2", but he paid 6'11", and he had heart, and he was a dog. And I wish I had his ability, but my gosh, he played the game the right way. You may not like his antics. He's going to fight you. He's going to intimidate you. He's a little Debo with Napoleon complex. But for crying out loud, he has some guts, some heart. So the thing is that our guys are too light to fight. Yeah. Too thin to win. And unless you transfer, no, that's the wrong word. Unless you get the mentality of a pit bull, a dog, and say no one's going to take advantage of my lack of weight, my size, and you turn the switch on and you get play pissed off, we're still going to run routes, and we'll start at one point, and before you know it, we're 4 yards inside off the jam, or we're 4 yards outside. That means you lose, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
There's a 5-yard box from you take up about 1.5 yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's another 3.5 yards. that you get to play with.
Yep.
I would say 2 yards to the left, 2 yards to the right. That's all you got. If he gets you outside of that 5-yard box, if you go 2 yards too far, go past 2 yards to the left, 2 yards to the right on a release, you lose.
That's it. Game over.
Right? We're having guys end up 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards from their initial line of scrimmage, from their initial lineup point. You can't win like that. Why? Because all I'm doing is taking away my space. I'm closer to a linebacker. I'm closer to a sideline. You can't win like that.
Yep.
So that's why I say the receiver play has to get better.
And that's
push-ups, sit-ups. What was the movie with Adam Sandler with the kid? It was Blended when he had the girl. The girl.
Never seen that one.
The girl was trying to gain weight. The dry tip, steak, cornbread. He kept telling her to eat.
I haven't seen that one. Blended.
Oh, you gotta see Blended. It's a great movie. It's one of those Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore movies. You know, had like 8 of them.
Yeah.
So yeah. Receiver play. We're playing light, and people are not afraid to challenge us at the line of scrimmage, though we can run, because it don't matter how fast you can run if you're running horizontal.
Yeah. So I just feel like I don't want to sound pessimistic, but it just feels like it's a broken record right now. Like I feel like we've been talking about this before, and I feel like it's still an issue.
Yeah.
Is it something?
Rager ran around again. I said it last week with the 49ers. On the Anthony Brown play, he ran around again. No nothing. Don't run at him and stick him and pass him tight. He just runs around. When you run around, the DB can feel what you're doing. Therefore, the DB saw the ball before you do.
So what do we do now? Like this, that
you bring in a veteran.
Okay, all right.
You trade for him.
Then who though? Like that? That's
you do something. We had a chance at Josh Gordon. I don't trust that.
Oh no. I don't trust that.
I don't trust that.
And really, I mean, is he the I mean, but how many games has he actually played?
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's a vet, but like
no, he hasn't played.
Some probably played more than he has.
And the thing is that the veterans, a lot of times, especially in the off season, veteran players are trying to win Super Bowls.
Yeah,
they want to go back to a rebuilding team. You know, but hopefully we can.
They're going to have to grow up fast. This receiving core, right?
Yeah, we just got to change the way we're doing things. And here's the thing: no motion, no movement only hurts us. When you have light players, it only hurts us. Deshaun Jackson, when we had him, stayed in motion because the coaches realized that the coverage loosens when a guy's in a bunch formation or he's in motion. Right? If you're off the ball in a bunch situation, the chance of you getting pressed is very, very low. So we got to use some of those things to our advantage to invite some off coverage so we can use some more skill. And that's why you can't lose the Devontae Smith to Trayvon Diggs play, because that's what the coach did. He put him in a reduced split. You're supposed to win that route.
Yeah.
So, but that's the coaches can help by creating more movement before the snap, more motion, and loosen some of this coverage up and give these guys a chance to use their speed. Defense, Q. No. Before we go to defense, we're going to go to my man Q with the DraftKings.
Yeah. All right. It's been a great start to the NFL season, and it's only getting better at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. DraftKings is kicking off another week of action by giving all customers a can't-miss offer. Bet just $1 on any football game this week and receive $150 in free bets instantly, no matter what. And this football season, all customers can swing big with DraftKings same-game parlays. Same-game parlays allow you to combine multiple bets for a bigger payout. This week, place the same-game parlay on any NFL game, and you'll be credited up to $25 if your bet loses. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. And the best part is you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sports app now and use the promo code ITB to receive $150 in free bets instantly when you place a $1 bet on any football game. That's promo code ITB, and you get $150 in free bets instantly. This week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 and older in Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply in partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have any gambling problems, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Nice. You. All right, let's go right into the Eagles defense, and I'm putting you back on the spot because this is your area of expertise, and you've been giving us good insight all week. We were able to stop the runs versus the Falcons. Why can't we stop the run right now?
Well, the short answer is, obviously I think our linebacker play is definitely it's got to step up. We touched on it earlier. When you got your two D tackles that are dominating the game, and then Dallas decides that, hey, you know what? Let's just double those guys. 2 double teams, and then they end up walking those guys into your linebackers' laps, and you're not helping. You're not coming. So there's two things that happen when we talk about what you were saying, right? So if I'm a linebacker, let's say I'm a Mike linebacker, middle linebacker, and I see my 2 tackles getting double teamed. If I don't hit the lane, if I don't hit the open area, 2 things are going to happen. Number one, that double team is going to continue. So a lot of people, a lot of times the double team is like what you were talking about. You double team up to the linebacker. So you double team here, and if the linebacker starts to fill, they come off the double team, and then they attack the linebacker. So that's why I was really frustrated, because as a linebacker, when you see your 2 big fellas getting driven out of there and you're still backpedaling or you're still getting into your drop, you are making their life hell. So when 2 things, when I saw that, I don't know, I have not seen that in the NFL game where I've seen two doubles like that without anyone coming forward and getting that double team off one of those guys. Mm-hmm. So that is a huge issue for me. And it showed its head, and it actually was so bad that the Eagles ended up going to an odd front, which they're a 4-man front team. That couple times they went to an odd front where they had I think it was Fletch. They had Fletch on the center and two linemen on the guards and tackles, and then they had 2 defensive ends. And I don't think that that's their normal scheme. So when I saw that, I'm like, they're definitely reeling right now. I mean, to go from when you got Hargrave and you got Fletcher Cox, you should not have to go into an odd front like that. Front.
Yeah.
And that right there shows they were getting destroyed, and they didn't trust their linebackers to be able to get those double teams off. And so I think that was the biggest issue. Obviously, not having Brandon Graham was huge, because he was another guy that he could play the run very well. And I mentioned that last week, that we're going to miss him a lot more than people may think, and it showed his head already. And so, moving forward, what I would like to see is I'd like to see those linebackers, coming downhill more, getting those double teams off, playing, filling gaps, and really being more active in a downhill manner. It's not always going to be just drop back and drop into coverage. And then on top of that, our damn safeties, they gotta start helping out. I mean, we're in a 2-shell most game. But you saw, if you're reading your keys as a safety, and you're looking in the right spots, you can find the ball.
Yes.
Eventually. You can get in there and help those guys out. It's when you see that they were just running consistently, and they're double teaming, and they're getting to your linebackers. at some point, now you do want to stay disciplined, but if you're reading your keys and you're looking in the right spots, you're going to know it's run or pass. And when it's run, you can come up. It's okay to come up
You
and
come
make a
up
play.
fast.
All right.
Because cover four, you're there for a run. That's one of the things. Your safeties can get there quicker.
Yes. Yeah. And you got to show up at some point. We used to we played a lot of cover four. And really in the cover four, a lot of people, I don't know if it was the way we learned it, but in our cover four that we played on the Jim Johnson, the safeties were in the run front. Meaning if it's a run away and the ball cuts back, that safety needs to be there at 5 yards. You were lined up at 10 to 12 yards. We didn't care if it was you read your keys, that linebacker or that tight end blocks. You check outside to see if the receiver's blocking. If they're both blocking, it's run. I'm coming up. And we were in the run front. And so, those guys got to get involved in the game. Like there was no safety activity at all. Like it just seemed like a bunch of guys on the defense were just out there just floating around, honestly, at times. And it was frustrating.
Epps made a few plays, but most of all, there was not many plays being made. Like it just wasn't. It wasn't many plays being made. And like I said, when we were in cover four, I've seen it. I was responsible for the guy. Bob Sanders in college. Iowa played 3 defenses. They played cover 2, they played cover 4, and they played cover 6. 4 defense. They'll play cover 3 on first down. And Bob Sanders talking about 5 yards. If that boy saw run, if it looked anything close to run, he mess around and get a tackle for loss from a quarter's position because that's how much he wanted to make the tackle. Yep. He was always in position for the pass, but he didn't miss an opportunity to get down in the box for a run.
Yep.
It was a nightmare. It's just a difference of 1-2. Anthony Harris gets down there and doggone Zeke took him for a ride. Like, why are you that high in the box? You taking on a blocker. A blocker means you should be low. Yeah. You taking on a blocker, you just take this shoulder with you for another 5-6 yards. Come on, let's go. Oh man, yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of our back seven got taken for a ride. Did you see on the goal line with Singleton when he he almost got hurt on that play?
Yeah, stop it.
On that touchdown. He almost got hurt on that play. And I love Singleton. He plays hard. He plays hard. He gets after it, but he's playing out of position there.
Yeah, he needs it. He definitely is. And we just talked about linebackers, blocks. Milton Williams plays more snaps than Josh Sweat again. What's going on with Josh Sweat? We just paid this man a lot of money. What's going on? I don't know if I know sometimes with the new age trainers and the new age sports science that they kind of force the coaches to put guys on pitch count. So I'm gonna say that that's what this is, because it doesn't make sense to me that a guy's talented as Josh Sweat and he just got paid, that his reps are that anybody's getting more reps at defensive end than him.
Yeah. It's odd. It's actually really strange to me. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing I can think of, like what you said, is that it's got to be a pitch count. I mean, maybe I could say maybe they think Milton Williams is better suited versus the run.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so. It's very, very hard for a rookie to come in and know what's going on.
Right.
Especially if you're not first or second round. When you start getting in those later round picks, it's very, very hard. You got picked later round for some purpose or reason. So there's some type of deficiency, especially as a young player. You start to overcome those things in your third, fourth year, but as a young player, it's hard for you to know what's going on. And we had many opportunities. When you're getting 2 guys being double teamed in the middle, that means that the defensive ends should be able to make a play.
Yeah.
It wasn't many plays being made last night by defensive ends. It just wasn't. So Josh Sweat is it's perplexing. I don't know if his knee is starting to,
Don't say that.
Yeah, no. I don't know. We don't know. It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Money usually says that this guy's numbers and his playing time should increase.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't said that. So we have to assume that something is wrong, whether it's he's on the pitch count or his knee isn't doing the best.
And then where was Kerrigan at? I don't remember seeing, like, I kept trying to find. I didn't see him. I was thinking maybe when they went to that odd front that, maybe they put him out there, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of things that we just don't know about, man. We just don't know about. I'm not going to keep battling going over this. Let's move on to some other stuff because we kind of talk about all this already. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get into this Manscaped. Support for the Q&A show is brought to you by Manscaped, the champion of the world for men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. And they just launched their fourth-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard it right, 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code QA at manscaped.com. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. I've tried the 4.0 and I'm blown away. The craftsmanship and details are second level. Nobody wants to get hurt down there. You know what I mean. So Manscaped engineered the ultimate growing body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their fourth-generation trimmer has a cutting-edge ceramic blade that reduces those accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. You got to be comfortable down there. This upgraded trimmer also has multi-function on and off switch that engage a travel lock and has 4,000 K LED spotlight that can turn on and off for more precision on your shave. The new lawnmower even allows you to customize your trim with the guard length sizes 1 through 4. How about wireless charging? Their new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction to help the battery last longer. Men, you can't use the same trimmer on your nuts and face. Nobody needs pews in their mouth. Get your own ball, hair, and body trimmer with Manscaped. Q, stop laughing. Make me time the best time, like Jason Avant always does. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code QA at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code QA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code QA, unlock your confidence, and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Told you, man. And Manscaped, them clippers are nice.
Manscaped clippers are nice. You got to keep the line shaved.
They sent me some. Listen. Yeah. keep it looking nice down there, man.
Yeah, you got to keep the lawnmower cut.
Man. My wife appreciates it.
Oh my gosh, Manscaped be having people go off the rails.
Yeah, man. You don't want to use a razor. You cut your boys up, man. You bleeding everywhere. You don't want that.
No.
Get you a Manscaped, man.
Come on. Let's get some Manscaped.
There you go.
There we go. Keep the lawn mowed. She will thank you. No,
that's real.
All right. Let's go to Kansas City. All right. So we got Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Pringle, McCole Hardman, Yeah.
Now Josh Gordon.
Robinson. Josh Gordon, maybe he's on. We got a lot of good players. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is back.
Yeah.
A lot of good players coming. Kansas City's been struggling defensively, though. They score points, but their defense can't stop anybody as of right now. And Patrick Mahomes has been looking B+ instead of A+.
Yeah.
I believe that the ship will be righted. I just hope that it's not this week. You know? So let's talk about that. Our good friend, father to us, had to rush to the hospital this past week, Coach Andy Reid. He's out and fine. Text me back, said he was doing okay. Some dehydrations. People didn't know what to take of it. If it's COVID, we always think something's COVID initially. Or heart problems or anything like that. So I'm glad that he was able to get back healthy. But football wise, his defense is playing bad. Do you think we can exploit them this week?
I don't know. I traditionally this defense does not do well against mobile quarterbacks. But that's when the offense has been.
Well, you know this defense.
Yeah, this is I've played in this defense my entire life.
Yeah.
What worries me the most about this defense, and Spagnuolo knows this, when you're facing a young quarterback like Hurts, you're going to
light
see
him up.
Yeah, they're going to come after him. They're going to have exotic looks. Like Eagle fans, I want you guys to pay attention to when the Chiefs are on defense, and just watch the schemes that are being played. Watch the movement by the secondary. Watch the blitzes. Watch the overload blitzes. Just take a look at it and watch it. Now, there might be some big plays by the Eagles. They might catch them in certain situations, but just watch the scheme-wise, and just how they attack Kansas City. That's what it's about. And I mean, just watch how Kansas City attacks our offense. This is what it's going to be about. Now, the reason why I say traditionally mobile quarterbacks do well against his defense is because it's all based on attacking protections. So if you attack a protection and the quarterback is able to escape that protection, now you can get something going. So I think the Eagles can play well on offense. They can play well better on offense if two things: they still have to run the ball, they have to commit to the run, and they have to be able to extend the plays beyond the blitz schemes. Hurts is going to have to use his legs to escape some stuff. It's going to look, there's going to be plays where it's going to look like he's going to get buried. But if he's able to get out of it, get out of the pressure and move around and escape the pressure, there's going to be some big plays to be had.
Yeah.
Because now the play's broken, the scheme is exposed. Because in a lot of times in these schemes, they're overload blitzes with fire zone looks behind them. They're not designed to really be viable for an entire play that's extended. Once the play is extended, because now you have defensive ends that are dropping in the covers that are not used to that. So the second that you can get away from the blitz and the play extends, now we got something going. So if we can get that going, use his legs to create some different angles and different movements, still run the ball, still run screens. Screen game's got to be huge this week. We got to get creative with the screen game. Slip screens from the running back, rocket screens, bubble screens. We got to do all of those things. Everything's got to be in play to have a chance. If we can do those things and be creative and execute on time on the plays that we're supposed to be, I think this defense can be gotten.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was great. That was great. Like great insight about attacking the protection rather than the player. Sometimes as a defensive coordinator, you have to, when you're dealing with a mobile quarterback, you have to attack the player, right? You have to figure out blitzes that's going to contain him because you're trying to limit his ability, right? And Spagnuolo doesn't do that. He's a protection guy. He's trying to get open to the protection. Quarterback gets out the plays. Another thing too, they're hot. They haven't been great on defense, even when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, very true.
They're a high offensive, high scoring team that wants the defense to get turnovers. Yes. Right? Usually that's how it goes because they don't have enough money on that side of the ball. Two guys got the money, Chris Jones and Tyrann Mathieu. Everybody else is very replaceable. So with that being said, they're the Indianapolis Colts on defense.
Yeah.
In Peyton Manning's heyday. And they're not that good because they don't have Robert Mathis. And what's the other kid's name from Syracuse right now? I'm getting a blank. Dwight Freeney. Yeah. So, and they're not that good, so that was just turnovers, that they would create. But that's their defense. Now, how do you think that, and you explained it so great, I don't have to get into that, but how about Coach Reed? How do you think he's going to attack our defense? That he wants to, ladies and gentlemen. He can attack it any way he wants to, right? The door is open.
Everything.
You can come in. Go ahead, Q.
That's fun. No, that's exactly what he's gonna do.
Hey, we open to the public.
That's it. We're gonna go. He's gonna use every single receiver. He's gonna run screens. He's gonna throw it deep. He's gonna run over routes. He's gonna run corner routes. He's gonna run sting routes. He's gonna run.
Oh my gosh!
Slant and goes. Like everything's in play. And I could be wrong. Last time he was here, the Chiefs?
I don't know when the last time. Yeah, they beat us. They beat us last because I think that was back in 2014. Yeah. It was Chip Kelly's because it was 8 years ago.
Yep.
So whatever it is is 8 years ago since the last time we played them at home because you played them every 4 years or so.
Yeah.
You play them more if you have that. Yeah, but yes. But yeah, every 4 years ago. So 8 years ago when he came back is the last time.
Yeah.
And they won that game.
And something tells me that and he's gonna be ready to send a message. So it
doesn't help that they're coming off a 2-game losing streak. And it doesn't help that we got Isaac Seumalo out for the season.
And it doesn't help that Andy's isn't he looking for his 100 some kind of milestone?
Yeah,
there's some kind of milestone that he didn't. I gotta
research that. Yeah,
I think it's like 100 something win or something. Yeah,
it's
not boding well right now.
He'll get it this week, whatever it is. Sure, believe that. All right, so listen, I'm not going to belabor this. Q. Let's get out of this podcast. We'll save a little bit more for next week.
Hold on, we've been pretty hard on the guys.
Q.
Can we think of like one positive thing that happened in the game? Like honestly, there's
Quez Watkins was a positive for me.
There we go. We got to end on a positive note.
Quez Watkins was a positive. Javon Hargrave was a double positive.
Very true. Yeah.
Fletcher Cox was a positive because he's still putting in work and giving Javon some one-on-ones, right? So that's a positive. Let me think about anything else. No, that's it.
That's all right.
But Javon Hargrave is balling.
Yeah,
he's definitely balling right now. The way he is taken by the. My gosh, he was killing the center.
He was getting in his stuff.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to end on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Q&A show. We were not the most positive today, but we ended on a positive note. We're definitely hoping our birds can come back this weekend and pull off a miracle against the Kansas City Chiefs. The chances are very, very unlikely. But if our defensive coordinator can decide to change up the scheme, we may have a chance. If our offense will decide to run the football, we may have a chance. And we're hoping and we're praying that we get one of those two teams and not the team that we just saw on Monday night in front of the whole world. So this is the Q&A show. I'm Jason Avant. I got my main man on the other side. Q, say good night to the people. I still got to do some things after this. But go ahead.
All right. Well, good night, everybody. As always, have a good day, everyone. It's been great as always. Listen, it's gonna get better.
It's gonna get better.
It can only get better, baby. So
amen. Amen.
Let's go.
We want to thank everyone that's responsible for this show. We want to thank Adam and Jeff and Hunter and Josh and everyone at Inside the Birds. We want to thank DraftKings and Manscaped. We want to say thank you to the fans, most importantly, for supporting this show, coming and giving your insight earlier in the show with the questions and things of that nature. We want to say thank you guys for making this show a success. And to everyone out there that's rooting for the Birds, despite us looking terrible, go Birds. Have a good night.